Oh my god, there are so many notifications. Good god. Alright, well, hello everybody. Welcome. This is the video that you have all been asking for in the comments for the longest time. Yesterday, I uploaded the sloth bear enclosure, the last enclosure in the Oakwood Zoo Eurasia section, or season 3. So today, we are going to be touring through everything that we have in the zoo so far. This is what you've all been asking for in the comments, and I am very excited to go through it all. So you can already see here we are in part A of the zoo. If you didn't see my post from last time and you haven't caught up in the last couple episodes, basically to keep the zoo from crashing, the zoo is split up into two different parts. This is the bulk of it. This save file, the A save file, Oakwood Zoo Save A, has the majority of it. We have Japan, we have all of Eurasia. This whole chunk is basically Eurasia, and then we also have a smaller area over here, which is part of Oceania. There is, actually no, it is all of Oceania, I think, except for like the emus. Everything over here, we also have the Americas Pavilion in this section. It'll be a lot smoother when we do the final tour, like at the very end. But as it stands currently, this is what is included here. This is the majority. The remaining stuff that is in the other save file, which we will of course also tour through, but it will switch like midway through the video. The rest of it is basically everything else in like South America as well as Africa. There is not a lot in that save file, because if you look at this, this is the majority of it. So we have a lot to go through. What was I going to say before? So yesterday was the last speed build episode of the series for Eurasia season 3. Today is the tour, so we'll go through every single thing that we've built so far. Also, I have put every animal in here, so every enclosure should have at least something in it. I am sorry if it doesn't have, if things get stuck and there's like malfunctions. I am recording this quite literally 3 hours before midnight the night before on Friday. So this is a very last minute video, so I'm very sorry about that. Hopefully this doesn't show in the editing. I did this because, well, I would have done it earlier, but I just kind of ran out of time. I do want to get this out, and this isn't really a highly edited video. It's really just us going through everything else. There's not really a need for a lot of edits. There will be a couple edits at the end of the video that we will go through, maybe the plans for that. If you do want to skip ahead and go and like zoom through this amazing zoo, which I don't know why you would do that. What is wrong with you? How dare you even think about that? I shouldn't have even put that idea in your head. Wow. Anyway, if you do want to skip forward because you don't want to sit through the whole 2 hours at once, totally understandable. We will be going through the plans for the final season of the zoo, season 4. And spoiler alert, it is basically, first of all, season 4 has everything that is remaining, of course. All the animals and everything that we have left, including the very important entrance. That is going to be interesting to do. But in the end, or at the end of the video, I will go more in detail about what the order is that we're going to be doing these things in. But yeah, so let's get right into it, I guess, because there's no better time to do here. Also, if my audio sounds a bit worse than it usually is, oh my god, we are already lagging, Jesus. If it does sound a bit worse than it usually is, it's because I'm using my headset instead of my standing microphone, because it's just easier for me to use than doing that. I'm also trying to figure out how to do like it on OBS for recording everything on here, so that was kind of annoying. So I'm doing it the old-fashioned way that I usually do it. I'm not sure where exactly we want to start here. I chose this save file because it has all the new stuff in it, or mostly the new stuff. I guess, well, okay, theoretically, you would be starting from here, and then you would go all the way around into this area. So I guess we can start from here. This is where, because in the other save file there are enclosures that are here. So I guess it would make sense. If we started from here, then we would go around, and then through Africa, we would go through the desert house, which is over here, and then we would go back around through the African stuff, and then come back around this loop. So logically speaking, it makes sense for us to start here. So here we are in the zoo. Now, not all of this is done. To be fair, there are still missing gaps. For example, this is supposed to be a washroom that will come into the vision a bit later on, eventually down the line. But I just have not got around to a lot yet. Is the zoo actually going to get done by the end of September? Who knows? Possibly, possibly not. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so we are here in, I guess, this kind of crossroads. If you go to the left, you would have Africa, what's left of Africa, and the Oceania section. If you go to the right, you are going into Eurasia. I'm going to save that right now, and we're going to go to the left, and we're going to start with stuff that we've already known, just for just a bit, and we have what is left of the Oceania Night House. Now, this used to be the Oceania Night House. What I kind of planned to do, this originally housed the Tasmanian devil, which there is nothing in here anymore. The zoo is making a bit of renovations so that these guys are no longer in here, and they were supposed to be moved into a nocturnal house or a night house. However, due to time limits, is there supposed to be a waterfall here? No, there's not. Due to time limits, unfortunately, I don't think this is going to happen, the new night house. I think this is something that we're going to be doing a lot more, we're going to be able to do a lot more realistically in Planet Zoo 2 anyway, because one of the things that is in there is natural lighting, which means that we can actually have dark buildings, instead of there being a weird kind of, I guess maybe we can see it in here, instead of there being a weird like light, even though there's no light coming from anywhere, but it's still really light in this. You actually have to turn it to night for that to work. I did take out a lot of the decorations in here, but it should kind of still be pretty cool. There's still the red lights, which looks pretty nice. This used to be the old Tasmanian devil and kiwi enclosure. Tasmanian devil's over here, and then we have kiwis on this side. I do really like these enclosures, and they're very detailed, and I like them. I just kind of, I didn't want to do this. I guess I should have kept this in the long term, because now we don't have them. Maybe I can renovate this. I think I mainly got rid of it because, or like scrapped it, because this house used a lot of pieces. We could technically actually, like, probably revamp it in some way. I could just make a new kind of house. That might be a good idea, to do some sort of, like, we could just replace the building and keep the interior. That might not be a totally bad idea. Now we can get back into here. And we have this. So this is, if you go around here, this used to be the emu enclosure. There is a new emu enclosure that we will see a bit later on. It is over all the way around. In this area, you will see it much more complete later on. Also, there is overlapping in the two save files, so it's not like the other save file only has those enclosures that are missing here. There's a lot of overlap, so like this is in the other save file. So that I mainly tried to do it so that the section still looks complete. I do want, because the main reason of me wanting to hold everything together is that we can see the zoo as like a whole with everything in it. But yeah. So this was the Tasmanian devil enclosure. I actually didn't really think about that, rebuilding the exterior of the building. That actually might be a fun little project that we can do, and we can put these guys back in their enclosure. That might be a pretty decent idea. On top of that, we have the little kiwi enclosure. I love this. This is so cute. I know the kiwis will not ever use this in realistically, because they are nocturnal and they do not like going outside at all whatsoever. However, I thought this was a really cute idea, just to have like some part of a little outdoor area for them to peep their heads out into. I also love the shade structure here. Looks great. Not all of I think most of the billboards will be online. If you just check all of these. Yeah, these ones are on, so that's good. Of course, if you want to, we will see them throughout the zoo, but if you want to look into my custom billboards, they are always in any of the episodes in this series in the description of the video. So if you would like to, it'll take you, once you click that link, it'll take you to the the forums post on the Frontier forums, and that has a main post. If you go to the main first post of that, it has every single image for the billboards that I use there, and you can easily save or copy it and put it in your files. This is the quokka habitat. Now we could save this until the other save file, because we will come back here to view what is supposed to be in this space, but regardless, it's probably fine. Now I did put 2 quokkas. Oh, we're on a roof. Alright. I wonder if that's going to be fixed in Planet Zoo 2. It'd be really funny if that's not fixed in Planet Zoo 2. That'd be hilarious. But here we have our adorable little quokka friends. There's one here. We can try to click on him. Here he goes. What is that name? I'm just going to name you Bob, just for simplicity's sake, And then there should be another one here. I don't know where he is. Or she is, sorry. There's a female and a male in here. Are you it? Or are you the same? Nope. Baruchi. Ignore the fact that they're all starving and dehydrated. I put them all in here, but I do not care to actually have like zookeepers in here. I have a few zookeepers in here. I put them in after I put all the animals in. I don't have a lot of time, and I know that dying is turned off, so we're going for simplicity, and we're just going to like see like the animals for what they are. They don't look hungry. They're fine. I promise you that. They are... This might seem a bit cruel, and trust me, it is, but it's for the sake of the zoo. So, you know, we're just gonna let that go. We're just gonna fly by that, and we're gonna keep going. Anyway, I love this enclosure. This is a really old enclosure. I know that it might seem boring that we're like starting with like the really old stuff, but I do still really enjoy this enclosure. It looks very lush. It's very nice for like a little like area. I mainly love like the shape of this. It's such a unique shape. You have like, because I think I did this where I just did like 2 circles and then do them beside each other and then cut a bunch of them out and then do this kind of unique little rock formation shape. It is going to be amazing to do more stuff like this, because in the next section of the zoo, it's a little teaser, there will be a lot more smaller enclosures, which is good for me because it's less time to build and it takes a lot less time to make these enclosures, as well as it's just fun to build smaller enclosures. It is adorable to make these little tiny things. Then we have the interior here, which we have their little window in. Amazing. Also, if you haven't been watching the recent episodes, you would know that I have stopped doing interiors for the shelters. These ones, some of them are still here. I think there are a few of them. I also had to delete a couple interiors, but I think it undid that because I did that in a earlier save, or sorry, a more recent save, and then I made these 2 save files out of other things. I'm not sure. We'll see how many interiors survived the blip, I guess. But yeah, some of the boards are not online here. I'm not sure why that is, but we're gonna keep going through that. This was just after we got the Oceania pack, so that was what, 2023, I believe, in the fall, I think. So look at that. That is a lot of time that has gone by. It is now 2026, approaching fall once again. Kind of. We're still in the middle of summer. Anyway, the one thing I did really like miss, like that I stopped using a lot my newer builds is like the Indonesian. I think there's the Indonesian stained timber pieces that I believe are from the tropical pack, I think. I wish I used these more often. It's very piece heavy to use for like planters. I'm not sure why this is. Can I just like, yeah, it's fine. It's whatever. Not important. But I wish I used these more often. I really like this. Like, if you see that little... It's so discreet, but it's just so cute. It's adorable. And then we move on to the little penguins. Now, I don't know if these guys... I think they did make their way up, because... Well, I don't see them, actually. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay, never mind. Because these guys can go pretty far along the enclosure. Oh, God. I'm hoping my game doesn't crash. I'm really hoping. Yes, because this is amazing. All the traversable areas, like, fixed and everything, it is wonderful. They can go all the way across. I didn't end up fixing this. I probably won't get to it. I do really still like this building. But, of course, also, if you haven't figured that out, this is the penguin house. Or, I guess, the penguin kind of paradise, honestly. So, we have so many different caveats here. Because I'm gonna try and speed through this just a bit, because we have seen a lot of this in the past tour, but I love this area. Look at this. I love this little like caveat that you can go into. I think I used to have a guest or a staff person here monitoring stuff. That didn't really make a lot of sense. I guess it was for like guest like trafficking, but like guest monitoring how many like any traffic in this area, but I think it would probably be okay in a real zoo, because this is not a too popular kind of spot. But I love having these kind of like thick walls of foliage and plants covering the sides of the walls. It looks great. And the little brick walls with the small faux rocks. Not the small ones, actually. These are the regular ones. These are the blocks that I've just stacked on top to kind of make a pillar, and then duplicate those all the way around to this kind of cool thing. It's really nice, because if you take away all the rocks and everything, this is just a regular like just a regular piece of glass, and that's it. It is really interesting to see how simple this is, but just covered in so much foliage and rocks that it's ridiculous. I'm not sure why there's like missing curbs here, but we're gonna roll with it. I guess that's for a later day, later time. This enclosure honestly is just really cool because it's so many. It's just a bunch of different windows. There's so many little peepholes to look into. You also have this. I honestly kind of want to get rid of this. I know it provides, or at least improve it in some way. I don't love that you have all this lush kind of stuff, and then you just have this big concrete bridge in the middle of nowhere. I would rather maybe do like some sort of deck or something, because you need a way to like look up and like see the top of the enclosure and see the penguins, because you're not always going to see them. There's one going right there. Adorable. I will say this is probably not the best view of the penguins, but you see a pretty good view of them inside, and they also come down here quite a bit. There's actually one right there we will zoom to. Look at him. Look how cute that is. Look how cute he is. So adorable. I originally had African and little penguins in here, but African penguins will be moving to a new enclosure later down the line, hopefully, if I have enough time. Hopefully. Yeah. So this is only going to be for little penguins, which I think is fine. I think these guys, if we have enough of them, I think we'll probably be alright. I did have water effects going here, and that reminds me there's not water effects in the game currently, so I have to remember that. I think the only major thing that you'll really miss with that is the capybara enclosure, but, you know, again, that's an enclosure we've already seen, so yeah. Also, we have the flying foxes aviary. I don't think these guys are in here, but we will take a look just in case. I love this. I love this enclosure so much. This is the first enclosure that we did in the Oceania pack. Looking fabtacular. Love the new foliage with the Oceania pack. Still love it to this day. I've been using the brighter color foliage. What is this? Isn't it the kaha, that, however you say that properly, not the way that I just said it. However, whatever that kind of foliage is, I love using that in recent builds, specifically in the Monorail stuff. So this is the indoor of the fennec, or the flying foxes. Sorry, I almost said fennec foxes. Apologies. And we have this cool little thing. Now, this is probably better at night. I should have put the red lights in here. That would be a lot cooler if we had like the red lights that I use in the nocturnal house. There is still, of course, improvements that I can make in these enclosures, and I was originally going to go back and make some changes, but we just might not have the time to do so. Now we're going to go out, and we shall go onwards. I really should also fix, there's so many like little things. I like to make the curbs higher, and also just not that dark of a color. You'll notice later on that they're a lot lighter. There's just so many little things that'd be just like, oh, I want to change it so bad. Also, there's a penguin right here. How adorable. Look how cute. He's so small. Only needs one popcorn. I love that meme so much. It's so adorable. Look at him. He's just hiding under a leaf. Amazing. I wonder if is there any other guys in here? We of course have the domes. Now the domes, because the entrance here is, well, I guess you'll see in a second. Look how titanic this thing is. I don't know why they never fixed this. I hope that in Planet Zoo 2, when this thing comes back, or if it is already in the base game, that they make the entrance like either null or like significantly smaller, because that is ridiculous. My god. Anyway. But yeah, look at all these guys. Adorable. I'm assuming they're spreading like rabbits, because there are already babies in here, and I don't think I put in any babies when I was setting things up, so that explains some things. Anyway, we'll move on, and we are on the inside area of the little penguin enclosure, the penguin house. This isn't too I don't know. I like this interior. Like I said last time, I would like to change it a bit. It's just a matter of if I had time. We do actually see a penguin in here. Look at that. I love them. I would love to make this deep enough so that they can actually dive. I don't think they can as it is currently. I tried to fix it before, but it's just, I don't think it works that well. I do love some of the details in here. Like if you look, I love these things, which are just made out of, I believe, like the lords and ladies plants. Yes. You might be able to make a better version of this with some of the newer plants we have, but that is a question for a later day. And I also don't really like how this is cutting into the dome, because that's not too realistic. It's an interesting thing that I would have to play around with, but I don't think I will have time or the effort to come and change everything in here. So as it stands currently, I think that's probably going to have to be where it stands. Anyway, now we will move forward. We were that way, and we are coming around into, we'll look into quickly the wombat enclosure, and there he is. Now this guy is named Gurumara. However, I'm going to rename him to Harry, because he looks like a Harry to me. He honestly does. Look at him. I love him. These guys look adorable. I love wombats so much. One of my favorites in real life, and I love him. This is a cool enclosure. This is one of the older enclosures that I did renovate last time. I'm not sure if it's in that new tour that I renovated it, but I do really enjoy this new kind of enclosure. I don't even know what the older enclosure looked like. I think it had to look something similar to this. I think I just replaced the barriers and added more foliage to the back. I think it overall works really well. You still have the burrow over there, so you can get in there, of course. But yeah. And then we have the indoor area for these guys. Nothing too much. Right now we just have Harry living here, which is fine, which is all fine and dandy. And we have this little kind of like hidden door that for some reason is missing a flooring, which I guess we'll have to look at later on, and this cute little indoor area. Very adorable, very cozy, and we shall move on. Now we are on to the kangaroo and wallaby enclosure, which we have not too big of a group. We have oh my god, alright, hold on, whoa, you guys have repopulated a lot. We have 2 male kangaroos for some reason. I can't reach that one, so I'm gonna release you to the wild because I don't think we need multiple kangaroos here. We have our wallaby. So this is the wallaby and kangaroo enclosure. This is one of the big enclosures that was like very heavy piece count. If you look at this, I had to delete a lot of the wooden paneling on the back here. You can't really see it at all from the front, so that's fine. But like if you look at this entire thing is 700. So if you imagine what it was before that with all this stuff also here, that would be absolutely ridiculous. I am all for high piece count buildings, but there comes a point where it's just, oh my god, it's just a bit dramatic. But I love this. This enclosure looks really nice. I like the little pit you can go down into. You can see these guys. Looks great. I love the fence, by the way, honestly. Not too high a piece count for a fence. Not. I've seen worse. I have built worse. We also have little baby Joey. Oh, look at that. Can't tap on him because he's too small. Oh, he's so cute. He's so adorable. Cinematic. Oh my god, I forgot you can do this at all. I completely don't use this whatsoever. Is this the only view you get? That is hilarious. Look at him, he's so small. He's so cute. He's just a munchkin. Very neat enclosure. I wish it was maybe a bit bigger, but I think it's overall fine for what it is. And now we are going back in here. We are going to quickly look at the greenhouse, and then we are on to the completely new stuff. This is the new-ish greenhouse. I basically renovated this to have less pieces. It looks very similar to what it was before. You can barely recognize it. I do want to make changes to this because I would like to make this, first of all, this is an outdated fence. I don't ever use this kind of fence again, and I don't really like it too much because it doesn't suit the green of like the greenhouse, and as well as it just doesn't really fit that well with like everything else. I also would just like to make a bigger garden area. I would love to extend this garden out into some sort of like kind of like bee garden maybe, just to have something here for the sake of just filling empty space. I will probably have I might do that. I might have maybe like it's a members only video, but I might extend this into like a garden area that goes down around here, almost like a community garden. That would be great if we can have some sort of area like that. That would be amazing to have. Anyway, but yeah, this is the new-ish garden. I really just, oh, that's not supposed to happen. I'm not wondering we can fix this one. We can just take this and duplicate that down. I'm wondering how I accidentally did this. But whoops, no big deal. Just go through here, and we have the butterflies. I didn't put butterflies in here because that is a lot of work, and I don't have time for this, but imagine there's butterflies flying around. Imagine they're so small, they're all in the dens. Yeah, of course. Realistically, of course. Anyway, I love this though. This is it's so peaceful. Amazing. I do want to have, oh my god, again, really? I do want to have a larger greenhouse near the entrance, which we will talk about, that I'm really hoping I can get done. I don't think it's too big of a project. I would love to have like a bigger greenhouse near the entrance. For like peacocks, as well as just more butterflies and insects, which would be great. So, that is the greenhouse. I am going to take a drink of water because I am already parched after this. We've only been touring for about a half an hour, so.
A few moments later.
Alright, anyway, so, which way shall we start? I don't really know. Let's go this way, I think. So, this would be the badger enclosure. This is the first truly new enclosure that we've seen in the zoo yet. He might be stuck. I don't know if he's stuck or not. No, never mind, he's right there. This is our little male badger, whose name is Ewan. Ewan? Not sure how to say that. He lives alone. He lives a solitary life. The zoo rescued him a bit of time ago, and he is kind of just living out his dreams here. This is a very nice enclosure. I like this enclosure. It's very small. It's very cozy. I reuse this stuff from the baboon enclosure, from like the little rails and stuff in the concrete, and I made it into a kind of U-shaped thing. And then we just use that on either side. It'd be great to use that some way, and in some way again later on. But it just makes for a very cute and tiny little enclosure here. We have, of course, the burrow for the badger, as we probably should. And we have cute little toys here as well, like its little Kong and a couple of other things. Aren't those called, it's called a skittle in the game, correct? Alright, well I can't tap on it, but I'm pretty sure it's called a skittle in the game. I just remember the giant ones that are called skittles. Anyway, we have our cute little planter here to kind of just give us a bit less bare space everywhere. And then, oh, okay, of course, also, info board, if you're interested in. Highly recommend. They are free. Just for you. Anyway, but yeah, then we go into our little backstage area. And we have a couple of cute little nifty things. First of all, we have our little electrical box stuff. This is a blueprint on the workshop. I will link it down below. There is a bunch of blueprints that I use just for small little details like these, for example. There's a couple other things, but nothing too major. This is part of a grander pack that they all come in. So if you are interested in that, then I do recommend checking that out. It's cute. It's a nice little thing just to add detail to your parks, just for the sake of it. We have a little doorway. This is one of the enclosures that does not have an interior, so it just looks like this. And then we go out. And then we have this. This is kind of cool. This is literally just a ladder, but I found it interesting because I liked making a ladder, and I liked the new the rustic, the gate fixture pieces, I think, from the barnyard pack, and I was like, okay, what if we made a ladder out of those? And I think it overall turned out really nicely. I like it. And we have the prism roof, just to add a bit more flair to the backstage area, because why not? Okay, now we are going out of here. We said hello to our badger friend, and now, oh man, look at that view though. That is, I love this view so much. There's so many good views in here, and look at that. That is beautiful. I am taking a picture of this. Why is that so? Hold on. Just turn down the intensity because that is a bit ridiculous. Also, I forgot to mention, but this is the trailer for this entire season is going to be out probably Monday. I don't want to rush things, especially not the trailer. I'm okay with rushing this because, I mean, it's not really rushing this. This is mainly just going through everything. But the trailers are something I really like to do, and I like to make them actually worth it. and we haven't done a trailer in a while, so I would like to spend some good time on it and actually make sure it looks good instead of rushing it, so that will realistically be out Monday, and then we'll be back to building regular stuff and making new episodes the following day, hopefully. So, that was the badger enclosure. We are going to backtrack just a bit, and we're going to go to where we started, and we're going to go the other way, basically, and see the red panda enclosure. Now, this is the backstage for the red pandas. Nothing too fancy. They might be here. No, never mind. They can get out. I know there's a couple animals that get stuck when you put them in at first, so they might still be stuck when we see them, but I guess we will find out. There's a little building here, and then we go down the stairs. Man, look at this. Look at that. I think the tapirs are stuck. That's one of the animals that is not able to come out. We'll help them out here. Poor guys. We'll move them out. Where are you? There you go. Okay. There should be red pandas in here. And we come to the front of the enclosure, which we have this, first of all, beautiful little display for our red pandas. Looking absolutely amazing and adorable. And we also have this cute little sign. Now this sign is, first of all, 180 pieces. So I don't recommend using these signs if you already have a big zoo, because it's not a good idea. This is from a sign pack on the workshop. I love these signs. They are amazing. I only use them in areas that I really, really want to use them, because again, they are very high in piece count. And keep in mind, this is one of like the lesser signs in terms of piece count. There are ones with a lot more that I will not be using unless I want my computer to die and bury it in a grave. So we're not going to be doing that. Okay, that's fantastic. We can see a red panda in the back over here, looking adorable, and we have the overall huge enclosure. We have another little cute display there with our little red panda friend. Is that a leaf? Is that leaf? Oh, it is actually in its mouth. Is that in the other ones? Because it is, yeah. I didn't realize that. Though that one has it on the other side. Huh. I did not realize that until right now. Anyway, we have red panda friends. There was one up on the hill. There's another one in here. I love this so much. I love this. If you go into the enclosure, how this building works, that you have the main doors that you would go straight into. There's nothing in here, of course, but where the staff would probably come in realistically, up here, there is a little den here that the red pandas can actually use, which I was very surprised by. They can fit. You can try to move them in here just to prove it. There, he can go in there. So that is adorable. I love these guys so much. They are so cute. I cannot believe, I'm very excited for the new red panda in the new game. People may have their complaints about it, but either way, regardless, it does look a lot better than this. I can't get over how soulless the eyes are. Like, it's just like you're staring into a void. It's so sad. But it's just like, oh, they're adorable still in this game, but like, I'm excited for like their more liveliness kind of animations and stuff, and for them to feel more alive in the new game. I'm excited, and that goes for really everything, because everything has new animations and stuff. But that does not mean that this game is any less amazing. So, of course, I use the same. You'll notice a lot we use the same climbing structures in this enclosure as we did in other enclosures that are coming up. Yeah, and we have. Oh, look at that! Look at that shot. Nice shot of red panda there. I think there should only be 2 in this, unless they had a baby while I wasn't looking. Completely possible, but I don't think so. So that's nice. That's good to see that things are still working their magic. And again, you'll notice that we're back to where we started with the building over here. I'm really interested in rebuilding that now. That area into like an actual new kind of style building. That'd be really cool. I would really like to do that. Anyway, also again, sign. There's a better sign, I think. The other one is better. I usually do 2 signs for each animal. Maybe 1 if I'm lazy, but usually 2. There's a second one, and we can see our red panda friend over there standing up. Oh, never mind. There is 3. I saw. There we go. Okay, so that's wonderful. I'm hoping there's only 3 of you and not any more. but I'm gonna leave in case I do see a fourth one, because then I'll get sad and mad and annoyed, and we do not want that. You don't want a angry zoo tour guest ever whenever you go to the zoo. So we're just gonna avoid that. And you'll notice that once we go through the forest, we are back at the badger enclosure. Where's our badger, you may ask? I have absolutely no idea, so we're just gonna keep moving. Also, artificial benches. Guests cannot use these. I usually only use these in the buildings, because buildings are insanely hard for like the paths to cooperate with, as well as whenever just the path doesn't work. Also, our badger friend is right there. Adorable. Whenever the path doesn't like align like this, it works, so I obviously put them there, because then I do want guests to use them at some point. But whenever it doesn't work, I just use my custom benches. They're not too expensive, 20 pieces a bench. Not terrible. Not that bad. And we are now to one of my favorite enclosures. I don't know why I just didn't come this way. I should have came from the red panda enclosure, but whatever. We are at the Malayan tapir enclosure. I love this enclosure so much. I love the shelter for this. It looks beautiful. I love this so much. There are a few shelters in the zoo that I am especially really proud of, and I really like how they turned out. This is definitely one of them. I mean, look at like the grunge work and everything on like the brick and the clay and the rock work. It's just I've been using the small faux rocks a lot more. Not only in like, obviously because I've been doing temple kind of scenery pieces, which these things are great for, but they are also good for any kind of stone patterning or like wall work or texture work. It is great. I see one tapir. I don't know where the other one is. Oh, he's over here, sleeping, starving and thirsting. No, you're fine. Look at this though. Look great. I'm so excited to record a trailer. After this, I'm recording this and editing it in the same night, which is a long night, and then tomorrow I am taking a break probably, and then Sunday I'm going to be recording the trailer for this. And I'm very excited to record the trailer because that is going to be a hoot and a half. So, what shall we do now? We can go through the pavilion. I don't really want to because we've already done that before. I will, but we'll kind of speed through it, but not yet. We will keep going with the new stuff because that's what we want to see. Now this area is not done completely. You'll notice the fence just kind of stops here. I would like to transition this into more something like, where's our other fence? We have a chain fence here. We have like I would like to do some sort of just like railing kind of fence. Like, I don't know where I even use those. No, not there. I don't know where they are, but you kind of know what I mean. Hopefully, not sure. We shall. What should we do here? What should we do? Here's what we'll do. Let's continue from where we were. Let's go. We'll go around. We'll go to the pavilion, and on the way we'll see two more new enclosures. First of which is the beautiful Binturong. Now, as I say this, I realize that the Binturongs are probably not actually on their island because they can't get there. And oh my god, you've started a family while you were in here. I am so sorry. I am very sorry. I think you can actually get there. You don't play dumb with me. I think they can actually get themselves over to the island by climbing. They just choose not to because the climbing system just does not work. Oh my god, it's that one keeper. I actually changed the color of their outfit. I changed the color of the outfit for one of the keepers out of like the 5 that I put in here. That's nice to see. Gwendolyn doing a great job. Keep it up. Keep up the amazing work. You're great. Now we are on to the icon of the entire channel, the Binturong. This is Binturong Island. Again, another building that I absolutely love. I mainly just love the tower of this. This is beautiful. I love all the red. It's just striking, and it's really a good key European-esque building because it is something you really see like straight in the streets of Europe. And that is absolutely amazing. You can see our little Binturong friend here, and there should be, of course, we saw there's a baby and a mom and a dad. I don't know where they all went. There's one there. We will see them on the other side, hopefully a bit better. because there's a viewing area on the other side of this ravine, this little island. So we shall continue. Again, fence work is not complete because I'm lazy and I'm tired. So yeah, that's great. We have the backside of the tapir enclosure. Again, there is no interior to this building. If you go in, it is just blah, nothing. Because again, I don't have time for all this. So, do not judge me. But here is the indoor, or the little stable area for the tapirs. Looks great. Our tapirs are somewhere here. I'm not sure where. There's one. Can't find the other one. Oh well, we'll see him eventually. Anyway, I didn't finish that. That's annoying. Thing for another day. I am getting sleepy already. This is not a good sign, people. We are not even an hour into this yet. Oh boy. Now we are moving on to the lynx enclosure. This is our little sign for the lynx. Might get a better... Oh wow, look at that. We have our lynx. This is a solitary female. Right, I was going to show you the board. Look at that. I love that board. I think there's another one also here. That's the same one. There should be two different ones. Right, this is the other one. I sometimes do these vertical boards that also look pretty good. This is another enclosure with the waterfall. So maybe I didn't get rid of all the waterfall stuff, or I just forgot about this one. Not sure. Yeah, there she is. I don't know what her name is. Sophia. What a nice name. Very nice. I like this. I do like this enclosure. I think the mesh on the top looks really wonky when you look really close into it, but from this point of view, I do really like this enclosure because it's so different. It's so unique. You don't see a lot of enclosures like this, at least in this zoo. It is one of a kind. And then you go down the stairs, and then you are at this nice window. But look at that. That's so nice. I reused some of the climbing structures from the raccoon dog enclosure. I think that overall turned out pretty nice. I just love how lush this enclosure is. It's so nice. And fun fact, if you put the lynx on that log in the middle, it will actually cross the river. Or the little, I don't know, this is not really a river, it's more like a little stream, I guess, I don't know. And we have a cute little overflow of foliage in here. Looks nice. And up the stairs we go. Again, another view of this. I accidentally made these kind of uneven, so you can't see down into this one as well as you could before. Somehow she teleported over here, so that's lovely. Hello. There's only one lynx in here. I made sure of it because I know lynx are pretty solitary. So, yeah. Amazing. We'll see what happens with her, and we shall continue. Now we are at the America's Pavilion. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to try and kind of speed through this area because we've already seen it in the last tour, and I don't really want to look into this too much because we have a lot of stuff that is new that I would like to get through. So, first of all, we have the Saki monkey enclosure. An enclosure that is really big for housing two of the smallest monkeys. So that is ridiculous. Here we are. Oh, actually, they are both together. That's nice. You can see them chilling and hanging out there. I really wish we had some sort of like other animals that would really fit in here. I don't even know what that would really be. I don't know what could really blend with these guys. Maybe like spider monkeys. That'd be really cool. I do like this enclosure. It's just weird that it's so big for like two monkeys. Even if you got more, it's still really weird because there's like they're so small. They're so ridiculously small. It's just hilarious. Over here we have the work in progress for whatever the Great Area and Anteater enclosure. This has been in development for a really long time, and it will finally get done soon enough. Then move on to the Otter House. I love this house so much. It's still one of my favorite buildings from like the general facade. I love the blue of the windows, and I love the overhead shelter arch. That looks great. And even this looks so nice, like the waves and stuff. Great. We have our opening hours for the Otter House, so you can tell what times they are open. We have cute little aquarium tanks here, just to fit in with the aquarium theme or the underwater theme with all the blue in the walls and stuff. That looks great. We have some sort of staff door which goes to absolutely nowhere. And then we go down into here. I would love to make some sort of like other one-off kind of building for another animal. That'd be really nice. Just to have a cute little house just for that. I mean, we have a lot of buildings in this area with the pagoda, we have the desert house, we have the otter house, we have the America's Pavilion, desert house. I don't know if I said that already. I am a bit sleepy. But yeah, this is for the giant otters, by the way. It could also be, we could also put the Asco in here, the Asian small-clawed otter, but we are in the Americas, so it's only fitting that we have these guys in here. Looks great. Now, move on to the outdoor area, which is this. Now, I want to change the kind of like this enclosure, this area, this outdoor area at least, because I don't think this is really realistic for housing one of the most vicious species of otters. The most vicious species of otter. I don't think that's too realistic, in all honesty. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? But I don't know. I originally had like some sort of like ramp here that would allow the otters to get up onto this, and then like be at the fence, which is very dangerous, especially for guests. So I don't know. I feel like I should make this kind of like in a different way, that like the glass is higher, or maybe have it like where it's like an all the way around kind of enclosure. I'm not too sure, but who knows. This is a dead end if you keep going this way. We will of course have stuff here later on, but for now that is where it kind of drops off. Now we shall go into the pavilion quickly. We will go on the boardwalk first and see the Baird's tapir, which is hopefully here somewhere. It might be inside. Maybe? I'm not sure where it is. Oh, he's here. Never mind. Adorable. We'll come back here. And we see him just chilling by the water, looking absolutely peachy and adorable. So cute. So cute. Again, custom info board right here, looking great. We have a nice, simple little enclosure here. Not too bad with like the building here. It's alright. It's not my best work. I also don't really like the doors, because it's not really that realistic to have it like a weird, because if you close these, there's like a weird U shape at the top that's just left open. There's also supposed to be stables in here. This is one of the things that I deleted to lower the piece count, so that's why that is looking a bit weird. And then yeah, this connects to the other backstage for the flamingos, which is a pretty actually decent backstage. I do like this backstage a bit more. Looks a bit more clean, more put together. And while on the topic of flamingos, we shall continue into the flamingo enclosure. And for some reason, 5 of them are in this area specifically. I'm not sure why. Usually they stand up here where that one is, but I'm not going to judge a flamingo, and we'll just let them be where they are. Look at that. I love these guys so much. They are beautiful in this enclosure. I love the red. I'm so glad they added another flamingo species. They're so beautiful. I wonder what flamingo species we'll get in the new game. That'll be interesting to see. Hopefully it's American flamingo. I do really like these compared to like the greater flamingo, just because they're so much more vibrant and colorful. But yeah. And then we have the classic, the shelter here. I do really actually enjoy the shelter more than a lot of the other ones I have, because this is a lot more like detailed, like the little kind of kiddie pools and the vents. Very, very nice. And of course, yeah, this little area, I think this was a bit more decorated. I deleted the tile work along here because it wasn't really part of the enclosure. So yeah, I have a little window here. Never mind, I'm on a roof apparently. But you get the point. There's a little window there so they can check up on the flamingos if they would like to, or they could just go outside. But who wants to do that as a zookeeper? Come on now. Look at that though. So pretty. So beautiful. we have one of these is an actual pool. This is the actual enrichment item. And then we have another kind of like little pond here that I could actually probably do like a waterfall going into that, but you know, it's not too important. And now we are with the capybara. Now, where is... Of course. Get out here. Here we go. I am going to name him Diego, because I love that name for a capybara. Looking great. Now I won't put... Again, there is supposed to be a waterfall here, but it is currently out of order. We're going to go with that because I don't feel like replacing the waterfall there. It will be replaced at some point later on, but for right now, it is fine. You know what I really wish that like it actually happened in Planet Zoo 2 is that we get frozen bodies of water. It would be so nice to have, like, because that's a feature in Planet Coaster 2. You can have, if it's too cold and the pools will freeze over. That'd be so cool to have in Planet Zoo 2. That'd be amazing in like the winter to just really sell the idea of winter. Yeah. Again, we have a beautiful look at the boardwalk and Diego sitting so proper, like a nice little gentleman right there. Looks great. I love taking pictures of capybara in this enclosure. They're so photogenic. Oh yeah, get it. Look at that. 10 out of 10. Okay, so now we shall continue. We are done with the pavilion. Actually, no, we're not. We have to go inside. My god. We'll go around. We have this little kind of cool little cozy area. I don't know why I just didn't do this like right up against the wall. I left this little gap here. Doesn't really matter. Just interesting. I also love that I put little like baby bars on the sides here. I only put one. Where's the other ones? Do you not put more than one? Maybe I only put one. Maybe I'm a terrible person. Why would I do such a thing? Why would I do that? And then we of course have the entrance here of the pavilion. I love this entrance so much. Look at that. That's so cool. The inset windows. Our little croc friend here. There are no crocs inside. There's a caiman, but there's no crocodiles. I am very sorry. And we just have this full out section around here. Also, quickly, we'll really... Why is that like that? Oh well. We will quickly look at the bush dogs, because those are also out here. Hopefully they came outside. Looks like they did. Hopefully. Maybe not, I'm not sure. Are they in the burrow? Oh yeah, here we go, they are both here. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, because basically all the burrows are like this. There's like weird pieces like going into them because of the slime mites. Oh my god, look at him, he's so cute. I think they're actually both girls. I think they are sisters. Actually, so that's nice. The zoo adopted them together. So that is adorable. Again, this enclosure is pretty good. I think it should be bigger for bush dogs. In all honesty, I think it's okay for like a couple of them, but like I think originally I had the episode. In the episode I had like 3 or 4 of them, so maybe that's a bit too small for them, but I think that is overall fine. Now we are going to quickly zoom through here with the Lynx enclosure here. We're going to quickly go through the American Pavilion, because I don't want to spend all day on this stuff that we've already seen before. I would like to just focus on the new stuff. But currently, let's go through the left here, and we have the Saki enclosure. So, now I think the Sakis are outside, I think still. I don't see why they would come inside, but this is their little inside section. I could have honestly changed this to make like 2 separate monkey enclosures, have this be the indoor area of the Sakis, and then this be another kind of primate area. I don't know why I didn't do that. I could have had like the capuchin monkey, but I guess we're here now, so that's fine. I do really like this enclosure. It's very nice. It's so layered. It's so big for Saki monkeys. I can never get over that. Also, the hammocks there. That looks great. And they actually can maneuver their way around everything. Oh, yep, there he is. And there's the cute little baby Saki. Little gremlin. Adorable. Okay. We shall move back. And we shall now move on. This is empty. Yes, correct. We shall move on to the exhibit hall and the caiman enclosure. So this is our little caiman area. There is no caiman because I forgot it exists. But we have our little sign here. And... oh no, that's the only sign I have of it. Oh, never mind, no, we have one more. Just here. I think that actually is in... I don't know what I took that picture in. Is that out? There's no way that's in here, because that's outside. So I'm not sure where I took that picture. I did take it somewhere. I can't remember where. But anyway. And then we have this. I love this so much. I am so excited to do like aquarium. I'm so excited to do like aquariums and stuff. Because I get to do all this cool stuff. We have like the little tanks and everything. Oh, so cool. We have, what, boa constrictor. Some of these are implied. Eyelash viper we obviously don't have. Emerald tree boa. Bullfrog. Might actually be here. Maybe. Possibly not. There is some weird stuff happening in these enclosures a lot of the time. So, yeah. I think there should be stuff in here though, because they're... I don't... wouldn't they be closed if there wasn't anything in here? Actually, I don't even think I can really tap on it that much. Can I... oh, no. No, it's empty. Alright, that's cool. Well, never mind. But we can still see inside them, so that's nice. I thought that once you take something out of it, it automatically closes it. So that's nice. And then we see on this other side, we have a few more little implied animals. An iguana, another iguana, and a anole. So we have these little cute little windows into exhibit animals. This is kind of like the reptile room, in all honesty. Along with our huge little caiman enclosure. This is not a huge enclosure. I would really eventually like to put in like some sort of like spotlight in here, like sunlight. But if you look at where this thing is, if you look at the shelter or the enclosure, it's in a weird spot. You could probably do something with it in here, but I don't know how that would really work. And look how much of a gap there is. Jesus. My bad, I just absolutely lied out. Look how much of a gap there is between the ceiling of this and the actual roof of this area. So that's kind of a problem. But yeah, it'd be really cool to make something like a second floor of this area, but of this building. But I don't have the time or effort to do that, so I would think that's probably fine. This is the backstage for the capybaras that is actually put together. This is into the caiman enclosure, I think. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But this is our capybara backstage enclosure. We have a person here doing God knows what. This goes into where? This also goes into the caiman enclosure. So we have two doors into the caiman facility, and then one door going back into here. More capybara babies. Adorable. I love it. We have our indoor area for the capybaras. That looks pretty good. I'm not sure how I feel about this area. It's fine. I don't really know what else I could really do to make it different and make it more realistic. I'm not sure. I think it's fine for what it is. Capybara. Capybara. Capybara sign. Beautiful. Adorable. I love these little wall panels of like foliage and stuff. I do want to upload them on the workshop, and I probably will. There are some workshop stuff, like packages of stuff that I've used in the zoo that are going up today. I will make sure of it if I'm not ridiculously tired in the morning. I will make sure to do that, so you guys can check that out if you would like. But yeah, and then we go through here. I highly recommend using this stuff. This is the PVC strip curtains that we got when walkthrough exhibits became a thing. These are very useful for using like in any kind of like tropical building, because it's just nice to have. It's more realistic. I would love it if we had like in the second game, I guess, like some sort of like version of this, but with like chains. That would be pretty cool, because like that would actually like have physics to them when guests walk through them. Maybe it's easier to have like the curtains instead, but who knows. Anyway, that is the pavilion done. I think that is everything that we have done before out of the way with. I think. Everything else should be new. Now we have done the Japan section in a separate video, but I won't count that because, yeah. What we will do now... oh yeah, also we have the peccary enclosure here, or at least the outdoor part of it. I want to redo the indoor shelter because the The original part of this was from the House of Tropics, and obviously we can't import that whole thing over, so instead I'll be making kind of like a renovated little building here. Nothing too fancy. I might also change a couple things here and make this a bit bigger. Just small little tweaks here and there. So, as it would go currently, as it would usually go, we would go around from the Otter House and we would go through here into Japan. If you're going to the zoo backwards. Originally, when the entrance would be here, if we'll be here, you would go through the petting zoo, that is going to be over here, then you would go through Africa, you go through Oceania, you go through all this metal stuff, Eurasia, Monorail, Japan, and then North America, and then you're done. Now, we are kind of honestly doing this backwards because we went through this whole area, and then we did this section, kind of, and now we did up here, so we're really kind of all over the place, being completely honest. What we will do now, because we just have this section left, and of course everything in the other save file, which I'm not looking forward to because there's still so much to get through. This is quite a long video, but what we will do now is we will go across this path and we'll go through the Japan section, and then we'll go along the monorail, and then we'll look at these last few enclosures, and then we'll switch to the other save file and we'll do the other new stuff in Africa mainly. That is really the only difference. There are 3 enclosures here in the other save file and this whole area. I'm sure you remember what it looks like if you've seen a few of the recent episodes. And with that, let's travel into Japan. I love this section so much. This is my favorite whole area that we've ever done. It is so themed, it is so different than anything we've done before. All the building work, it's just mwah, chef's kiss. So, here we are. I've never seen it from this side of view, but you can see the Przewalski's horse shelter as well as the big monorail station in the back. That looks really cool. Look at that. Look at that. I am also taking a picture of that because that's really nice. Beautiful. I guess we can take a peek at here, and we will also actually go through into there. So first of all, we have the Przewalski's horse enclosure, which actually we need to actually take them out of the stables here. There is a lot of poop in that one little area. I'm very sorry. Come on, get out here. There we go. These guys are, again, one of my favorite to take pictures of. Look at that. Look at these guys. Oh my god, you had a kid. Wait, what? Alright. You got pregnant in that little stable? I'm surprised, but alright. Look at this. I love taking pictures of these guys in this enclosure because it looks so nice. I don't know why that's like a weird different shade. Or I guess it's just the light angle, because if you look at from this side it looks normal. If you look at this side it looks really weird. Nah. Alright then. Well, anyway, oh, look at that though. That's so... I love the Japan section so much. What we will do... I guess we'll look at these horses a bit more. I love this so much. These guys look beautiful. Again, another photo-worthy moment. I'm sorry, I must... Beautiful. I love this shelter. This shelter took a lot of time to do. It's a renovation, I guess, very, very vaguely based off of the clock tower enclosure over here. There's so many good buildings that in this new section. It is astronomically insane. And then we have this main viewing area. Then we have the horses here. So beautiful. There should be another horse here. Yeah, we have our horse and little baby here, looking adorable, looking great. I love the shelter so much. There is no interior to it, I'm very sorry. But now we will go into the world of Japan. Now, on these boards would most likely be the zoo map. I just haven't made it yet, so I'm very excited to eventually make that. But we have the entrance to the world of Japan. I kind of want to make it snow. I'm going to make it cloud over, like an overcast, because like that would look kind of cool. Let's see if we can make it... I'm trying to get like the cool atmosphere. I don't really know what exactly the right atmosphere here is. This looks pretty good. I like that. So we start off with these very vibrant red pieces, these little overhang canopies, looking amazing. Let me go underneath here. We go through this little cool area in here, and we are welcomed into the world of Japan. This looks beautiful. I love this so much. This is my favorite building in the entire zoo. There's so many good angles you can get at this thing. It looks beautiful. The main pagoda in the middle here is what is, oh my god, it's beautiful. Now, starting off, we have basically how the section works is, I love this so much because it works exactly like a loop. You go all the way around the pagoda and then you exit the same way you started. It's great. Now, you can actually, if you would like to, you can go over the bridge and you can look into the river and like the different buildings. It's so immersive that you just feel like you're in such a different world. It is amazing. You see the pagoda all the way in. There is nothing inside, of course, because I don't want to kill my PC, but instead we will go over here. I mean, if you're looking from like up here, I mean, look at that. Beautiful. Now, we will start from the beginning of the loop, of course, and that is starting with the red crowned crane. So we shall go. And we have this cool little overhanging little structure, and our crane right here in the forefront. Looking beautiful. Of course, iconic sign. Our little crane here. Looking great. I love these guys. Amazing. Again, another use of the PVC strip curtains. Very useful for bird enclosures. And we have a lot of our, like again, our dens here with the cranes out in front. Again, our stables are in the back here. We just have one little holding den for them, and we have a kind of shelter area that is open to the public. It really shouldn't be. I should probably add some sort of fence here to kind of separate it, but regardless, it's still just kind of there. I'm hoping that the public knows not to disturb staff, but we'll see. Look at that. Love it. Now we move on to the red fox enclosure. We have this kind of cool little like Japanese kind of style little awning, and we have a lot of foxes. A lot of foxes. We have 4 that I can see, and there was, I think, a black, like a melanistic one. Maybe not though, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what is happening with that. There's 2 more in here. Ridiculous amount of foxes, so that's kind of concerning, but you know, it's probably fine. And then we have this cool kind of shelter for our foxes, looking very amazing there. I love this kind of like top part, that looks really cool. Very unique. So I like the buildings here. They are very different from all the other buildings in the zoo, because this is the Japanese section. So difficult, so different. And again, pagoda just looking absolutely beautiful. This little thing in the river was a blueprint. I will link it down below if I remember to. So there's that. We have this leads to the backstage of the foxes as well as the nilgai. You can quickly look in here. This is our little backstage with the foxes. We can see a beautiful overhanging area of the macaque and shelter. I'm sorry guys, I am getting a bit tired, a bit sluggish, but I will be fine. And we still have a lot of the zoo to go. And we have, of course, the backside of the nilgai enclosure. Looking beautiful. Now, we shall continue. We shall go out, and we are now in the best. I love this so much. This is amazing. I love this building so much. This is the Japanese macaque enclosure. This is my favorite, one of my favorite, possibly my favorite building and shelters, or buildings, or sorry, God, words, enclosures of the zoo. What do we do in here? We have to move these guys out. There we go. We have 3 macaques in there. There we go. So we have the indoor area here. Looking amazing. I love the work here on the building. It looks amazing. Love that. And then, of course, we have the planters here on the sides. And the Japanese flags. I love the Japanese flags so much. They're spread out throughout the entire section. But, like, looking at this, it's just so mesmerizing. It looks like you're in a different part of the world. It looks like you're not in the zoo anymore. You're just in this different kind of frenzy of, like, a location. It looks so different to everything you're used to. I'm taking pictures as I go of these kinds of like little they're not really even like enclosures. It's just kind of like everything together in one shot, because that's really what it's all about at this point in the game. It's seeing everything come together. Again, there's nothing inside, as you might have seen. And we will now go down this kind of area around the shelter. And we're now in this outdoor area for the macaques. Now, I don't know if the macaques will come up here. They normally spend a lot of their time near that other glass window, but look at that. Look at this and take it all in. Look at the Japanese flags. It's just this is why this is my favorite section, because it's so themed. It is so different. It's great. I love this. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know where these guys went. There they all are. Okay, we're having a team meeting apparently. But yeah. Anyway, now we'll move on. We came from that way, so now we will move on to the Japanese restaurant. Take a quick bite to eat. And we can see our little swan boat. I don't know why there's no water in here. I forgot about that. But here you go. Our little swan boat here. Which is not completely done because the other side of that lake is not finished. But you can go out here. You can go walk around. And you can, if you wish, hop on a swan boat and have the time of your life. There will be, of course, a lot more to this area, so that will be that, but as it stands currently, this is only the one side of the river, or the pond, I guess, and we are now in, I guess we should have entered from the other side of the restaurant, my bad, apologies. We go all the way around, and we go up, and we take a little seat. Again, look at this, look at all this little cute little stuff. We have the Planet Zoo thing going. Probably should have like some actual paperwork and stuff, but you know, it's fine. Whatever. And then we have like a little waiting area here so guests can take their seat, pop a squat, and we have, of course, the actual restaurant interior. We have this area, which is like the back side of the restaurant, or like the actual kitchen area. And then we have toilets on over here. And then we do, my favorite part is that you actually have, for VIP seating, I guess, or whenever it's open, you have this outdoor viewing kind of eating area that you have. Why is that? I mean, oh, that's the planter. You have this beautiful view of the Japanese section. You can get a view of the macaques and the pagoda. I love this pagoda so much. It, again, my favorite build in all the zoo because it is just so beautiful. So big, it's just such an icon piece. Anyway, so we'll move back over. We'll go back this way. Now, let's go back. So this actually, this pathway that you see here is going to be a big part of the next section. That will connect to the next section. So, if that wasn't a big enough clue, I guess I have to wait a bit more until we actually reveal what that is. What that section will be. Now, we are back in the little centerpiece there, and we move on to the last part of Japan, and that is the Japanese raccoon dog. Sorry, there should be one raccoon dog in here. I don't think there's too many. Slight habitat. There's one. Yes, she is over here actually, so we can actually move her to be on top. Hopefully. How kind of works with the lynx, but it doesn't work with the raccoon dog. That's really weird. But I guess we can move her to here, and that works just as well. Look at that shelter. Look at that. I like this. Again, another very themed habitat. And I think it overall works really well. If you can just kind of unselect that. They can, I think, go on these climbing structures. They just can't be placed on them. But yeah. I like the green, the copper kind of like texturing. I think it's more actually like a tile. Like a slate? Yeah, slate. The painted slate roof is what this is. But it is still, it has that copper feel because of the color. And on the inside, it actually is quite decorated. Pretty decent. Nice. Alright, and then we go out. And this is, I do like this backstage area. I mainly like the cool like balcony here. That's kind of cool. That looks nice. And imagine, like, look at that. The big tower in the background. That looks great. I mean, you could take that from this angle. It's nice to see. Can I get that from different angles if you wish? But yeah. So that is that. We will go back over to this. We have another kind of nice view of the pagoda again. Oh my god, it's so photogenic. I can't. It's so beautiful. These bonsai trees are from the workshop. I can never build something like this. This is really just the Siberian pea shrub, as well as, actually interesting. Do I have these favorited? I do, yes. Okay, I was gonna say. I should also favorite these ones, because these are also usable. But we have our beautiful pagoda. Looking great. We have this little like kind of centerpiece here. Realistically, would a tree be able to go to be grown from here? Probably not, but you know, it's fine. And then we have this kind of like Zen garden kind of area with like the rocks and the gravel, just to mix things up a bit. And now we are back to where we started, which we can go get out of here. I love this section. Again, this looks beautiful. I love it. Again, we have the amazing Przewalski's horse enclosure. Now, if we go across here, and we go further over, we go all the way over, again, our peccary enclosure is going to be moved in here. It's already there. We just need to build the shelter for it, and there will be more foliage here. Right there, you have the backstage for both the lynx and the binturongs, but over here, you have the other viewing deck for the binturongs, which hopefully are here. There's one there. Not sure where the other two are. How come we can only see one at a time? That's odd. That's peculiar. Alright, well. We shall leave it at that, I guess. There's our boards of the binturong. There's one there. There's another one over there. Okay. And now we will move down to our little picnic area. Przewalski's horse shelter. Amazing. And we'll continue to the station. This is... yeah, this is the next... oh wait, no, it's not. We will then move into the blackbuck and nilgai enclosures. This is kind of like a dead end, but realistically you would also go here. I don't know, it's weird the way the enclosure works. Also, I think these guys are stuck. No, never mind, they're not. I just don't know where they are. Oh yeah, there he is. They are here, never mind. We have the blackbuck enclosure, as you can see. There are a group of 3, I believe, in this enclosure. We just saw one. We saw the male. I don't know where the females are. They are, of course, a lot more dull in color. I'm not sure where they are, but maybe we'll see them on the monorail, but we will see. Now, we have these little shade structures here that are very helpful, and then move on to the nilgai enclosure. I love this enclosure. Again, it's one of my favorite enclosures. Look at the clock tower. I love that. Such an iconic building. Such a classic. Absolutely amazing to have some sort of like really iconic historical building here. And I'm kind of going with a story that this is one of the oldest buildings in the entire zoo. This kind of like old ancient clock tower that is now repurposed as a enclosure for a ungulate, more specifically the nilgai. We have two males sprawling here, which now he's just fighting by himself. So now he's just kind of doing his own dance there. So we'll leave him be, I guess. This looks great, and we can see the monorail actually running here, looking beautiful as ever. Love that. Looking great. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This is the crane backstage area. It is out in the open. I will fix that maybe later on, but for now that's fine. And now we are on to the moment that we have all been waiting for. The moment that is very exciting. We will ride the monorail. The Wild Asia monorail. I did make this free actually, so that's nice of me. We have this little staff area which is kind of undone, but this is what we all been looking for. This is the monorail station. Again, I absolutely love this entire building. It looks so good. Love it. Before we do that, we will look into the ibex enclosure because this is connected, and I guarantee you we will not get a good look at ibex. Why are they all shipped in boxes? What is happening? Only that one was shipped in a box. There should be more than one here. Oh. Why? Why are you being like this? I'm not sure why we're doing this. Wait, did I just... No. We are absolutely not sending you to Bengal tigers. Let's do this, and then hopefully that works. Anyway, so this is the Alpine Ibex enclosure, another one of my favorite enclosures. So it's very nice. I like this. Very rocky, a lot of concrete, very similar like the baboon and badger kind of enclosures, with the concrete and then the rails, but they are still, I don't know, it's very nice to see kind of it working together with the temple pieces theming around there. And we'll see more of the temple pieces in the monorail. So we will go up our little ramp here. Scoot. And again, you can see, look at that, amazing. We can go up here, and we see a beautiful view. I kind of like the overcast, actually. I would think that sunny was the best bet with, like, weather, but it kind of looks really cool in the overcast. And look at that. Nice. Anyway, we are on the first level here. This first level, you can go and look at the Alpine Ibex. You can see a pretty good shot of our male here. Look at that. Nice. And our females, I don't know where they are. They should be able to get through almost everything. There's one here. Yep, and then there's another one, I think, over there somewhere on the other side. We shall continue. You get a great view of everything in the mist. Well, the mist is kind of like, but, you know. I do really like that. Then we can get up here. And then we can go to the top of the monorail chase station. And you can also get a look into this enclosure as well. This kind of like from another view. There's a lot of views that you can take into the Ibex enclosure. It's very impressive. See our male there and female there. Again, I'm not sure where the last female is, but that's not really too important. Is the monorail track coming around? Maybe not. We will go around. And we'll hop on here. We have our little area. Nothing is too decorated. We mainly just have a lot of lockers. And how it works is you go line up. We'll go around here. Hopefully there's one that's coming. If not, we can cheat the system and we can just do this. Testing. Can I make this testing? Start test. There we go. Alright. Here we go. This is exciting. So we are starting off. Why do I feel like I'm going so fast? I'm not really, but we are starting off with the Alpine Ibex enclosure here. Again, that's not a great view. You can't really see a lot in that enclosure, so I don't really blame us too much for not seeing anything there. And we're now moving into the Markhor enclosure. It feels fast when you're going like this, but when you look ahead, we're going like turtle speed. And now we are into the Markhor enclosure. I think these guys are in. They should be. I don't know where they are. Not sure. There are really good chances. I would say the best chance you would get at seeing an animal on this tour is the tiger, because the tiger is really cool to see. Oh hey, we can see two more in front of us. That's cool. And now, oh wait, never mind. Oh, I'm switching between the cars. That's weird. Alright, well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to look at... Well, I don't know what's happening there. Usually, the arrows on my keyboard would switch the seats on the car, but for some reason we're switching between the cars. So that's wonderful. I guess we're doing this then. So anyway, we are going past the Monorail enclosure, and we are going into the Monorail exclusive section, the Wild Asia Forest, which includes the Bengal tiger. Now, hopefully we can see her here. Oh, I think... No? Hopefully we can find her. Oh god. But look at that. This is the shelter for the Bengal tiger. If only I could actually, like, get a good view of this. I'm not sure where she is. She might be in the front here. That'd be really cool if she was. Is she in this front area? Possibly, possibly not. Unfortunately, I don't know where she is. Hopefully she's in this back area. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait. I forget. I am a silly Billy. She is in here because she cannot get out from this shelter. So what I will do, that's actually might not be the best spot for her, but it's fine. I'll put her there, and we will continue being on this. But look at that. If you just pause this, see a beautiful shot of the monorail station, and of course this really cool temple scenery. I love this enclosure for, like, again, it's so simple because it's not you don't have any pathing or any, like, actually viewing areas or anything. You don't have to worry about that stuff. It's just the temple stuff. I did put her in a really bad spot, so we can't really see her, but she is there. I promise. I pretty promise. Before I make the same mistake, we'll check again with the sloth bears. I think the sloth bears should be okay. Never mind, I'm wrong. Nope, they are all in here. Okay, so what we'll do... This is not as smooth as the one I did before. I will release another one. Oh, I love doing this. I love putting one in the archway. That is great. We'll put one here, and then we'll put another one... Oh, that's not good. I'll put another one out here. So there we go. Quickly move all those guys there, and we will take a look at the sloth bear enclosure. That looks really cool. I love this. If only there wasn't a pole in the way. That's really annoying. But this whole kind of big temple structure is great. Now let's see if we can find a sloth bear. Oh my god, he is sitting down. That's amazing. Look at that. We see a sloth bear sitting in the archway. That's so cool. That's amazing. And we can see this big shelter structure in the back. That looks so nice. It's so defining of, like, the forest. You see that popping up. And we have our sloth bear friend, I think, hiding behind this pillar. Yep, right there. And I think there should be one more on the side here. Hopefully. Possibly. Yep, there he is. There she is. Very nice, very nice. Again, inside of the shelter is bare, just because I don't have enough time to do all that stuff. But you can see beautiful kind of temple scenery there as well. Now we move on to, now hopefully I can get us switched. There we go. Yeah, I think that should be fine. Now we are moving into the Nilgai enclosure, the clock tower enclosure. We're just kind of got through. I'm going to speed this up just because this takes a minute. But we are now in the Nilgai enclosure. I love this, the view of this from the monorail. It looks so really cool. It looks great. You can see, where are our Nilgai here? There's two in the back, our females, and there's the male. But we can see them in this beautiful, huge clock tower enclosure. It looks amazing. And we get a view of the guest area as well. And you can kind of see the pagoda. Yeah, you can see the pagoda from here. And you will be able to see the Przewalski's horse enclosure as well from here. Now we are right over the black enclosure now, so hopefully you can see hopefully at least one of them. These guys are strangely hard to see. So maybe not, honestly. Oh no, there's one. Whoa, there's one. Very chilling in the grass. And that is about it. And we are now... Why can't we have a fire? Why is there no fire extinguisher piece, but there's one on the monorail? That's so odd. Anyway, we are now passing over a kind of staff area, and then passing back into the station. Love this so much. It's not the longest ride, but I think it's overall a really nice ride. I mean, if you take into account like taking stops for like actual like picture taking and stuff, this is probably like a 10-minute ride, which is, oh, what is breaking down? Jesus, what was that? Oh, it's a vending machine, because I think there's a vending machine behind there. Oh wait, maybe not. Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, but let's get out of here. We'll take the stairs this time. We'll go down. We have our banners for the station. Looking great. We shall go down. And we are now into the Asia section. Eurasia section. So, what do we have left? We have to go through here, these three enclosures, and the boars. And that's really it. That is what we have for this enclosure, this area. And then we have to switch to Africa and go through that. And the desert house. We still have so much to go. Oh my god. Why did I do this? Anyway, so what we will do is we will go into this area. So this is the Babirusa and the Liontail macaque enclosure. So I don't know where these guys are. You'll notice again we use the same climbing structures as before. Just changed the color of the beams. And we have this beautiful little kind of upper bridge work kind of area. Look at that. It's so cool. There's our Babirusa. There are two Babirusa in here. One is male, one is a female. And then you have a bunch of macaques. I think that's honestly one right there. Yes, it is. We have our beautiful Babirusa there. That is the male. I'm not sure where the female is, but we will find her eventually. Look at this though. So cool. So cool to see the zoo actually like be a zoo. Fantastic. And we can also see the Binturong enclosure from here, which you can maybe see a Binturong, probably not honestly, but still so cool to see that from the bridge. And we can go down and you can see them in a bit better of a light. Mainly the Babirusa you can see from here because they're a little bit larger of a target. But yeah, I mean of course that famous red pagoda here. Look at that. Very nice. I also love the backstage area for this. If you get out of this mode, you can see I mainly just love this kind of like circle beam here. That looks really cool to me. Nice. Okay, so we will move on into the Palace Cat enclosure. This is the backstage of the Palace Cats. And if we go to the front, we can see, hopefully, I think there's one cat. Yeah, there's one cat in here. One lonely male cat. Chester. in this kind of cool enclosure. This is the palace guy enclosure. And our one cat, I believe, was right there. Yep, there he is. Very adorable. I should really just call him Mr. Grumps, because he's kind of very grumpy. And you can see here we've used a lot of different kind of things. You use the rock stumps, like these kind of like stalagmite kind of pieces, but we've made them out of rocks to make them a bit more different, to make it kind of like a cave. Very unique. You'll see that if we go back this way, that we're going the same way as we did before. That has the badgers and the tapirs, so we're going to go this way instead. And we are now at the Gibbon Island. This is a very popular enclosure on the channel. I can see why, because it is very cool. This is what inspired, this is where I actually built those big climbing frames. So this is what it kind of started out as, and it looks fantastic. I don't know where all our gibbons are. They are all blonde. They can get out here, so I'm not sure what we're doing. There's one. And there should be more. There's 3. So I don't know where the other ones are. I could be blind, I'm not sure. There are 3 gibbons. That is Ollie. This is the gibbon that is named by one of our members. If remember that if you are a member, you do have the ability to adopt an animal in the zoo. And as we get more animals in the zoo, it might not be a bad idea. Just for the fun of it, and you have lots of choices. Where are these guys? Oh, these in the wall. That's why I can't find you. I'll move you out here. Is the other one also in the wall? No. So where is the other one then? Whoa. Lag. That's not good. You are... Oh, that one I should have been able to see. I'm just blind. I don't know why they didn't go out. They can go out using the climbing structures. I've seen it before. Not sure why we're doing that, but regardless, that's fine. But we have the Gibbon Island. I love this. So cool to see. It's so nice to see everything together. This whole section is so cool to see, like in one whole thing. So cool. Nice. You can see them wandering around there. This is where we've already been. So this is the backstage of the Babbers enclosure, as well as the Gibbons. So that is, we have kind of a little picnic table area, inside area of the Gibbons. Adorable. Great stuff. And now we are going to go down and around to the Markor enclosure. I will eventually fill this space up with something. I know it's a lot of concrete right now, but here we are at the Markor enclosure. I don't know where these guys are. They should be here. They are... Oh. I don't think I've ever sent these then. I don't know. I bought them, and then I moved them in here. Weird. Well, anyway, we have the Markor enclosure. There is no Markors in here. I am apologies for that. But this is their habitat. We have a bit unique. This is from a while ago. This isn't from the series. It's from the House of Tropics series that we moved into here. Same with the armadillo enclosure. Same with a couple other things. And we have more banners advertising the monorail. Now we are going into the Taken enclosure, another one of these kind of more famous shelters. And we have a few Taken. We have our male, alpha male. We have our other male, which I think was a baby at one point. We have hopefully a female. Yes, a female. And there's one other one there. So there are a lot of Taken in here. The one thing I really liked about this is the backstage area, because this looks pretty dang cool for our backstage section. Very cool. I love the windows there. That looks so nice to me. Then we go inside here, and then we have this. This is, again, I took these out because of saving the performance, but you know, I think I overall just really like it from the outside mostly. So yeah, we can go back this way. Again, we see the beautiful zoo as it is over there, and then our outdoor area of the Talkin, which looks great. We have this little planter area with the 2 Talkin on the side. Again, look at that. If only this was... You just delete this temporarily. Again, delete this temporarily. You can get a cool shot of that. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. See our Talkin friends. There are a lot of Talkin. I should probably get rid of the... Whoops. Oh god, what am I doing? That's a male. Can I get rid of that male? Because we already have a male, I feel like we shouldn't have more than one. And now we are moving on to the Vicent enclosure, the European bison, which is of course stuck over here. There are 3 bison here. I'm gonna get rid of one of them because I think we only need a male and a female. This guy is kind of cool with the markings. I'll send him to the trade center. And we are now here with these guys. A little info sign there. And we see this nice little grasslands kind of enclosure here. The first episode of 2026. Fun fact. So that's nice. You can go see these guys walking around a bit. I like the blue. Blue's a bit different from the red over in that area. Kind of just nice little different styles. And they're both just kind of chilling there. Now, moving on. Past that, we will go across into this little viewing den. And this is for the wild boar. They should be able to get out of their pen if they were ever delivered, which I hope so. Yeah, he's over here. I forgot I put something here. Oh no, there's something there. He's just lying there. I thought that was like a mud pit or something. But there you go. There's our little wood, our wild boar enclosure. That's a cool... If we got rid of this... Oh, why is there so many... Oh my god, no. I don't... No. I just wanted this gone. That's not really what I wanted anyway. Moving on, but that, like, this is our wild boar. Mitchell, apparently. I did not name that, I swear. Our keeper is on a mission, Jesus. But like, look at that, though. Nice. Anyway, we have this cute little viewing deck for the boar. This is kind of like a secluded, more foresty kind of habitat, so it's not supposed to be too out in the public for like very flashy and everything. Our boar there. And he's just kind of chilling there in the back. Then move on to, I think this is actually the final enclosure in this save file, then we'll switch to the other one. And that is the Pierre David's deer. These guys should be out, I think. Maybe. They might actually be inside. Or not. I'm not sure where they are. Let's look at... Oh no, there we go. There. These guys look beautiful. One of the most beautiful models in the game. Up there with the sloth bear. They look absolutely incredible. I mean, look at that. Oh, we have our little fauna. I mean, that looks cute. Oh, look at that. You can get a pretty good shot. These guys with the greenhouse in the background. Very cute. adorable. I love this. I love them being like near the greenhouse. You can see them really well with everything else. Very nice. Very good fence as well too, because this is not that hefty of a fence. If this is two pieces together, if you cut that in half, that's probably 33. No, that's 28 pieces each. Not terrible. Anything around like 30-ish is not too bad. This shelter, on the other hand, is a bit pricey, but I do really like this shelter. To be fair, it's brick, and it's just nice. It's nice red brick to look at. Using the tropical pack pieces, actually, not the regular brick. Tip number 1: use tropical pack pieces always instead of regular stuff. Not an actual tip, but I do highly recommend using that stuff because it is very good, most of it. Now we move on to this kind of like little area. We have the backstage gates that really just take you all the way to the backstage of the Pierre David's deer enclosure, which looks nice. This shelter is pretty decorated. It's just missing a few stables, of course, because of to save piece count, but unfortunately that is how it is. And that's really it. Then you come back around here, and then we're back to where we started, with the greenhouse, and there is the Eurasia sign. Maybe we'll get a cool look of it there. And there you go. That is all of Eurasia, basically. That's what we have so far. Now I am going to switch to. I'm gonna save this as a separate save. And I'm gonna switch to the second save file in the game. So without further ado, I will see you guys over there in a second. Alright, so here we are. I'm very tired at this point, so we're going to try and make this quick. This is the other save file. This is Oakwood Zoo B, so this is different from the first one. Of course, the first one had mainly everything in this kind of like one solid area. In this save file, you'll notice there's a lot less, and that's because a lot of the stuff that we have left to do here is we haven't done it yet. So that includes the Americas, as well as Africa, and the entrance, and the petting zoo, and the conservation center. There's a lot that needs to be done, but there are ways to cut corners that I'm going to be taking that will let us actually finish the zoo. That will make sense in a bit. But like I said, there is some overlap. So some of the enclosures here, like the tapirs are here, the Palascat is here, binturongs are here. I don't know why there's no water in this. This is weird, but okay. Is that? Yeah, that works. All right. Well, I don't know why it's like that. I'm going to select that, and then we'll do that, I guess. I'm not sure why we're doing that, but anyway, is it like that for everything? No, there's water in that, so that's weird. Anyway, because I'm here at this, or because it is late, and I will really not like to do a lot else, I'm going to skip putting in animals for these last few enclosures. There is not a lot. All we have left is these enclosures here, and then we have the baboon enclosure, and we have the desert house. That is it. Everything else we have gone through. The armadillo enclosure is up here, but that is, oh my god, look how smooth the camera is. I'm just fangirling over this. The camera is so much smoother in the save file because there's not a lot left in it. It's still a bit glitchy here, but like, wow. But look how smooth it is, like the North America section. This is gonna be so nice to work with in the next area. That's gonna be so exciting. Very good for me. Very a nice relaxing stroll for me. Anyway, but these are not gonna have animals in them. We're just gonna kind of speed through them. So first of all, we have the red river hog. So this is back where the Oceania house was. These three enclosures we've seen before. I'm hoping that a lot of you have seen them before because this was in the last two tours. Actually, no, that's not true. In the last tour, this is renovated from the last one. When we got the zoo back, we first did this renovation. This one looks a lot newer, it's a lot fresher, just nice. And then right beside that we have the warthogs. You can see our sign here for these guys. A very simple kind of shelters here, using the trim pieces, I think. Yep. And the mud there as well. Finally, we have the emu enclosure, this is the new emu enclosure. The old emu enclosure was over here in this kind of like pit area, but now we moved it and relocated it to this newer style area, which we also have this African shelter here over there. Now we will move around and we'll go over to this area. Now I did skip the ocelot enclosure. Here it is. There's not a lot that is too good about it. I mean, it's good, it's fine. It's a bit small, but yeah. And then we go inside and there's this just kind of area. I deleted the fence, or deleted the doorway, because it was a lot of pieces. Same with this. So yeah. Anyway, we'll focus on Africa right now. Now, one of the things I do like about this is the backstage area for all of these enclosures, because they are all connected. So first of all, we go up to here and we have the two stables for the red river hogs and the warthogs, and you have the actual indoor areas for them. Decently simple. You have the glass roof, so there's a lot of illumination, a lot of natural light coming in here. Same exact setup for the warthogs, nothing too spectacular. And then we come up to this, which is kind of like the African village almost, because it has a very unison kind of style theming here. First of all, we have the Nile Etchway. Again, no staples because they are ridiculously high in piece count. I guarantee you the camera would not be this steady if we didn't have these removed. Then move on to the Somali Wild Ass enclosure. Looking nice. A lot of floating buckets, but that's fine. And then we move out. And then we come up to the Attics enclosure, which does not have anything in it. Again, this is kind of the price we have to pay. No interiors, but the zoo will be finished, so you know what? I will take that risk, and I will take that sacrifice. And then on the inside of our emu enclosure, again, a backstage stableless area. And we have our dens for the emus, so that's nice. Now, let's go back to the front. I like that all these different shelters and stuff look really cool. For the different ungulates, looks great. This is, of course, inspired by the famous ungulate enclosure. I cannot remember what the zoo it is that has it. I cannot, at the Berlin Zoo, yes. The famous enclosure from that, of course, is what that is, but we've repurposed it here instead of scimitar orcs for the Nile Etchway. And this looks amazing. Love it. Lots of foliage work, lots of great. Nice here. We've of course the famous kind of like dome structure here on the top. Looking nice, with pieces used from the Africa Pack. A lot of Africa Pack pieces in this. And then in here we have the Somali Wild Ass. Similar style shelter with all the archways. I love the archways here. This looks great. Very unique theming with like the different styles of the roofs. And then here is very similar to this shelter. Instead, it doesn't have towers, and instead it has more roofed and like arched pieces here for the attics. So this looks very nice. And we can see our attics sign here. Now we move on to the baboon enclosure. This is a really cool enclosure. I love this. Again, the waterfall is currently off just because, but this is such a cool enclosure. It goes all the way around, and it's such an immersive area that you can really see everything all at once. Now, I also added bighorn sheep into this enclosure at some point because to kind of mimic Nubia and Ibex, because the baboons make up a very small portion of this enclosure. I wanted to fill it with something more at least, so that's nice. But yeah, look at this. I just love how lush this is, especially on the waterfall when it's going. Looks great. Now we move on past that into what we have so far of the chimp house. I will show what I have so far of it. I have not finished it yet. I am not regretting, I am, kind of being like afraid of doing the inside of the shelter, or the inside of the house. We will get there, of course, at some point, but this is what I have kind of so far. We have the poles looking like set up here. I just need to do the netting, which is of course no easy task, But yeah, it is coming, of course. It is coming along quite nicely. So it will be done at some point in the next little while. And then we move around here. This is probably going to just be like a dead end. It's just going to be kind of, or not a dead end, but like it's going to have foliage, just a lot of like forest in there. And then we have the African spurred tortoise enclosure. The inside part of this is not done yet, but we have the outdoor done, which is not too impressive. It's just kind of just our generic kind of like concrete with our rails, and we have just more stalagmite pieces, just as a general kind of like a little area for tortoises to walk around here. Very cute, very nice. And then we have the work in progress area of the wildebeest and ostrich enclosure. The foliage work, of course, is not done here, but the basic layout is. The current setup for this is kind of in the middle of kind of working it out. So I do like this kind of middle area, this kind of like little circular section, but it's not completely done yet. There's a lot of things that need to be tweaked out, but we do have this little viewing area over here, which is kind of nice. It's going to be a very big enclosure when it's done. But anyway, that is really it for this kind of section. Our little tortoise enclosure, our tortoise little thing there. Okay. There is going to be, of course, the next steps for this area is going to be finishing this enclosure, putting forest in all the back of here and here, so this kind of like big corner will be done, and then we're going up here later on. So now we shall move to the desert house, because this is the last thing that we have to go through. Now this is, we did go through the front of this, I think, earlier on, but this is the last big project for here. And we start out with, of course, the classic sign here, a little fennec fox friend, and honey badgers. Honey badgers we have in this kind of like little roped off kind of enclosure. We can go down here and we can see them in a kind of glass window here. We have a nice little area here. Honey badger sign. Should we go on the outside first? I guess we should. We can go around. We have the fennec fox enclosure. Nice. Just cute for them to kind of wander around. Just have their little free time. Love it. I love the, this is from the, what is this from? European LED tube, so I'm assuming the Europe pack. Yes. Nice. I think there's also pieces like that similar in the Asia animal pack, I think, because it also comes with scenery. So that's interesting. But yeah. And then we have the sand cat enclosure, which is pretty nice. A bit more curved, similar to the honey badger enclosure, but a bit more curved in the mesh, and different materials used, different colors. We have more browns to imitate kind of like more like the desert style. So that's nice. We move on from that. We get the caracal enclosure, which is almost kind of like a bubble of mesh, interestingly enough. Very unique kind of shape here. It's different than any other mesh thing I've really done, but it's kind of cool, being honest here. So that looks great. We come around here. And then you come around, we have this little picnic area here for you can kind of like chill out. And then the meerkat and porcupine enclosure. This is, again, a kind of like a neat concept. You have this kind of caged over area for the meerkats, and then the porcupine can wander in here, or I guess actually no, the porcupine gets the caged over area, and the meerkats get to come in here by themselves and wander around little tunnels and stuff. I love these tunnels so much. These are really cool, and these are also part of the stuff that I'm going to be uploading onto the workshop today or tomorrow. I will make a community post about it when I do, so don't worry about that. And then we will loop back around to the badger enclosure, and then we are going to move into the inside of the thing. We have open hours for the desert house, same hours as the otter house, and we have a lot of different indoor areas here. So many. So we first have the fennec fox indoor area. A lot of them look really similar. Mainly you have the lords and ladies plants. This is just lords and ladies plant, copy and pasted over and over again in different assortions, or different kind of like styles and placements to kind of get it in a cool kind of like growing ivy kind of vibe. Adorable sign. We move on from that. We get the Sandcat little backstage area here. Cute little room. I think there is also a backstage room inside here. That is the Sandcats. Whoops. Okay. Now we have the Caracal inside enclosure. Nice. We move on from that. We have, strangely, not butterflies, but we have more exhibit animals. Desert horned viper. Giant desert scorpion. I don't believe anything is in here currently. And even more exhibits. Puff adder. Gila monster. Gila monster again. The porcupine and meerkat backstage area. You can see we have some sort of tunnel here. And a den for the porcupine. Not sure how I feel about this. It's fine. A bit weirdly placed, but I like it overall. And then we move back. We have a backstage area for what we did before I was teleported to a roof. We have a backstage area for the porcupines and the meerkats, and then the honey badgers are in here, which we can look at. Where are we here? There we go. We can look at the honey badger backstage here, and then we are back at the front entrance. One nice loop, and there you go. That is the whole zoo. I am very tired after that. That was a lot. That was a lot to go through. But we are finally through it all. I hope you all really enjoyed this entire tour. But now it is, of course, time to talk about what you've all hopefully been, what some of you are curious about, and that is Season 4 of the zoo. So, I don't want to reveal all the animals because that feels slimy. Not slimy, but that feels lame because, like, I want to actually, like, keep you guys in the loop of, like, what's happening, but I don't want to spoil everything. So, what I will say is the next section that we will be working on. Well, first of all, let's pull up this. So this is a list of everything that we have done in Season 3. These are all the animals that we have added. We have added a lot. In Season 4, we will do everything else. So what everything else is includes the Canadian section, or the North America section, which I have labeled as the Canadian Express. This section is going to be the next section that we are working on. This will go over the next 4 weeks, most likely, because there is only 8 enclosures to do. Technically 7. Because one of those is the peccary enclosure, which we already have a lot of it for, so there's not a lot really to do there. A few of the enclosures, a few of the animals that are going to be in the Canadian Express section include the Arctic fox, the moose. I'm very excited to build a moose habitat. I think that's going to be very fun. Very big enclosure. That is going to be by far the biggest enclosure in that section, because And then, of course, one of the other ones is also the California sea lion. There are more other than that, but I'm going to leave it at those 3 for now, because those 3 are ones I'm pretty excited to build for. So that's going to be interesting. There is a total of 9 species in the Canadian Express. One of them is already done, and that is the armadillo enclosure. Another one of them is also almost done, and that is the peccaries, of course. Now, there is more to come in Season 4. Being completely honest again, thinking about it, in Season 3, we did the Desert House, Royal Japan, and Eurasia. So that's a lot to kind of go through. So there is multiple sections here. Secondly, we are also going to be finishing South America. There is not a lot left of South America to really do. There is the brown-throated sloth, so we're going to have to do some sort of sloth house, and that will probably be in this area. On top of that, we have to finish the rhea and anteater enclosure, which is going to be here, and then the maned wolf, which is somewhere up here. I would like to renovate this area of the Predator Passage because I don't like that it's its own section. I would rather make it its own section instead and just have it be more like embracive of the zoo instead of being its own section, because that doesn't really feel necessary for only 2 species. Now, that is two things: South America, North America, fantastic. Outside of that, we have the final section, the final big section, which is of course Destination Africa. This is the big stuff. This is the big thing that we will be working on after North America until the very end. This is going to be everything we have. We still have so much to do. We have Madagascar. We have to build a Madagascar house. I would really like to do that with like Fusa and lemurs, and I would like to build for a lot of the big animals, including camels, zebras, striped hyena, lions, cheetahs, elephants, leopards. A lot of the stuff like that is still remaining to come, so we have to be on our A game for what is coming next. I can't guarantee that everything is going to get done, but I will try my best to include everything as much as possible. Outside of that, that is the main part. Africa and the Americas are the main things of what we're kind of looking into. Now this, I'm going to pop up, basically is a roadmap of everything that we have to get done, and also a checklist including stuff that we have gotten done, so you can kind of see how much we've actually done. It's not crazy. It's not like we have half the zoo left. We have probably like a quarter of it left, possibly. There is still a lot to do. Now, outside of these three little sections, South America is really easy. North America is decently easy because that's only like 7 enclosures. Africa is the big one. Outside of these three sections, the only other thing that we have to consider is the entrance area. Now, this will include, of course, the entrance building, which is the big thing. Outside of this, we will also have kind of like a cool gift shop, which is something that I also have to build. I have some ideas floating around for that. I would like to do some sort of like conservatory building for like butterflies and peacocks, and like research and like kind of like a vet building. That would be cool to do. I think I have some pretty cool ideas for that, and I think I actually would probably start on that before the other stuff. And then finally, we have to incorporate the petting zoo into this whole thing, which I have an idea of where to go. Now, it would be easier if I had more markings laid out, but maybe we'll have it laid out in a later episode. You can see markings here with the camel, zebra, elephants. How this will work is that this middle section will probably be including like, I'm going to move the dik-dik enclosure into here. Cheetahs or hippos or something will go into here, and then we'll have a kind of like ungulate boardwalk. Camels, zebras, elephants, giraffes, maybe giraffe, I'm not sure. Hippos, mandrills. Mandrills will actually probably go here beside the baboons. We'll have a very similar looking enclosure here. I have an idea for that one. I'm not going to spoil it, but I do have a good idea. The Madagascar house is kind of confusing to me where I'm going to put that. Maybe that can go like up here or something, I'm not sure. That is a tricky one to kind of place. Or that could be the thing that goes in the middle here. That might not be a bad idea. So there is a lot of things that I would kind of like to look at fixing in this kind of area and kind of building out. So yeah, that is the main stuff though. So first things first, what we'll probably do is the North America section, 100%. That is a quick thing that I can kind of get done as fast as I can. They are quick enclosures, so I might be able to finish them sooner than just 4 weeks. We might be able to get done sooner. Depends. Then from there, we'll probably swap over to Africa, and we'll probably build the Madagascar house, because that's something that's pretty cool. We'll try to probably fill in this middle section, because that's a big gap. We'll probably do Kirk's dik-dik in this area, and then we'll have kind of like this pathway going through, and then we'll have the Madagascar house being here, with Fusa and a lemur kind of island. That'd be actually really good, because we can have dik-diks here, a path going there, Fusa in like a kind of like a netting enclosure on one side of the building here, and then a lemur island here. That'd actually be perfect. So that's a really good idea. And then from there, we will probably swap back and forth between Africa and South America. We have to fill in this gap and this gap. Those two big gaps are the next kind of big things, as well as North America. The entrance is going to probably be one of the last things, along with moving in the petting zoo. That's going to be also a big thing, because when you realize this, in this save file, this whole thing is going to be completed. So it's going to actually be bigger than the first save file that we were in before. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about, and I want to talk about it, but I think I'm going to have to leave it off for later on. That is the general plan for what we have left to do. North America, Africa, South America, and entrance stuff. What's the order we're going to be doing them in? North America, Madagascar house, and then kind of just touching up, going back between different enclosures from there on, including, of course, things that are not done yet, like the chimp house, chimp house, ostrich enclosure. I do want to renovate this building, the Tasmanian Devil and Kiwi building, because that'd be kind of cool to do if we're not going to do a nocturnal house, because I probably won't. But yeah, that is a good plan, I think. I don't know if it's realistic. Well, I guess we'll see when we what happens later on, but I am going to have to leave you guys here for now. It has been a long 2 hours, possibly 3. I'm not sure how long it's been of recording. I've had enough. I am tired. I'm going to bed. It has been a blast going through all of this with you, but I will say goodbye to you all, and I will see you all in the next episode, also including the trailer, which will be out shortly, soon, possibly. This video also might be going out on Sunday instead, because I am a bit tired, and I might not be able to edit it all in the morning, so we'll see where that leaves me, but I will see what we can do. And anyway, in any case, if you did enjoy this episode, if you did enjoy this tour, and the immense amount of editing and time it took to actually make not only the zoo, but also this video, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment down below what you would like to see in the future, what you enjoyed, what's your favorite episode so far. There has been over 85 episodes of the zoo so far. It is insane. Please let me know what has been your favorite episode so far, what you enjoy, and what you look forward to seeing, as we have listed some of the new animals coming in the future episodes. I hope you all have enjoyed. I hope you all are excited for the future as we go into August. We still have lots of time in July, to be fair, but as we continue, I hope you all have enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys, and have a great rest of your day.